Welcome to another episode of Untold Legends, where we explore the stories found within the worlds of video games, movies, comic books, and anything in between. Last time in the Mortal Kombat lore series, I covered two of the most obscure characters in Mortal Kombat history. The male chameleon that starts with a C, and the female chameleon that starts with a K, covering their origins as a secret character unlocked by the power of the Game Genie, and cheat codes on the Nintendo 64, all the way through their very short in-game histories. Today, I'll be covering one of the coolest combatants introduced in the early 3D era of Mortal Kombat, Kenshi Takahashi. That early 3D era of Mortal Kombat was a little rough in retrospect, which went all the way from Mortal Kombat 4 to Mortal Kombat Armageddon, before the Mortal Kombat 9 reboot solidified what Mortal Kombat is represented as today, and the series introduced many characters in that time that are considered some of the most uninteresting, often bland versions of other characters that already exist. For example, if Kano were Coca-Cola, Jarek would be Sam's Choice Cola. Kenshi was one of the few that really stood the test of time, and one of the most unique, sporting a bandana used as a blindfold, awesome sword, and telekinetic powers. Daredevil and Solid Snake combined with a sprinkle of Ermac, fused into one package. Kenshi.
Quan Chi.
You found me, and now?
I will cast you into darkness.
Kenshi didn't make his appearance in the series until much later on. He missed the events of the classic Mortal Kombat trilogy, the spin-off games, 4. He first appeared in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. When he was first designed, Kenshi was originally envisioned as a replacement for Ermac, hence his telekinetic power. As his backstory began taking form, the character was known as a spirit hunter. The development team called him Blind Gi, early sketches called him the Kenshi, and then he was called Blind Kenshi, which eventually dropped the blind portion, just leaving the name Kenshi, until his full name was revealed as Kenshi Takahashi. Since he made his debut, Kenshi has become a fan favorite, returning several times, and even made it into the Mortal Kombat Legacy web series, taking on Ermac, a clear reference at his original connection as the character's replacement. But how did Kenshi's story begin and evolve in the Mortal Kombat universe? Why is he blind? What is his mission? Kenshi was born a fighter. In his youth, he was naturally gifted with the sword, and searched the world regularly for competition to test his skills. One day he encountered a man named Song. Secretly, the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung in disguise. Shang Tsung had discovered a cave where the powerful souls of ancient warrior kings were sealed, hidden in a labyrinth underneath a temple. Shang Tsung wished to absorb these souls, but only a descendant of the warrior kings could pull out the sword that was sealing the souls in the cave. He tracked down their descendant, which happened to be Kenshi, as the benevolent Song, and convinced him that a great warrior needed a great sword, leaving out the rest of the story. Kenshi traveled to the cave with Song and pulled out the sword, unleashing the souls of the warrior kings in a bright flash. The experience left Kenshi blind, and Shang Tsung revealed himself before absorbing their souls. Kenshi was left alone in the cave blind, left to die. But the sword Sento was a living weapon. It spoke to him. It was passed down from his ancestors, and it revealed the truth to him behind his lineage, and it led him out of the cave. For years, Kenshi trained his mind and senses to overcome his blindness and perfected his sword techniques. Over time, with the help of Sento, he honed his senses to not need sight during combat, and even developed telekinetic powers. He swore that he would seek out and destroy Shang Tsung for what he did to him, and he would redeem himself by freeing the souls of his ancestors from within the sorcerer. Eventually, his talents attracted the attention of Jackson Briggs and Sonya Blade, Earthrealm warriors that offered him a role in the Special Forces Outer World Investigation Agency. Kenshi joined them as an ally, willing to risk his life to defend Earthrealm, and at the same time he could use their resources to track down Shang Tsung. During the events of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Shang Tsung and the evil Netherrealm sorcerer Quan Chi joined forces to revive and use the army of Outworld's original Khan, Onaga the Dragon King. They became a threat to all the realms, and Kenshi was assigned to go into Outworld and find the missing Cyrax. Cyrax had recently been freed from his Lin Kuei programming and joined the Special Forces, but he was attacked by Reptile, and the transporter that could get him home was damaged. While searching for Cyrax in Outworld, Kenshi encountered Ermac and successfully broke the mind control that Shao Kahn had over him. Ermac was no longer a living weapon that Shao Kahn Khan could take advantage of. Finally free, Ermac taught Kenshi additional telekinetic skills in gratitude. During his investigation in Outworld, Kenshi tracked down the two sorcerers and attempted to contact the Outer World Investigation Agency, but communications couldn't get through. Unknown to him, they had been attacked by the Red Dragon Clan's Su Hao. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance ending, Kenshi tracked down Shang Tsung and redeemed himself by killing the sorcerer.
Kenshi had finally caught up with Shang Tsung in Outworld. Years ago, Kenshi had been manipulated into releasing the souls of his warrior ancestors. Shang Tsung had consumed those souls and left Kenshi to die in the tomb. The ordeal left Kenshi blinded, but the sword of his ancestors led him out of the depths. To redeem himself, Kenshi had vowed to free his ancestors from their captor. He cut Shang Tsung down with his ancestral sword, and a blast of souls was instantly released. The spirits of the warrior kings re-entered the sword as Kenshi held it above his head. His duty fulfilled, he could now return to Earthrealm.
In the canon version of events, Shang Tsung and Quan Chi knew that Kenshi was tracking them, and sent the high-ranking Red Dragon Movado to kill him. Movado confronted Kenshi in combat and attacked him relentlessly. He defeated Kenshi and left him on the ground, beaten and dying. Eventually, Raiden confronted the Deadly Alliance, and during the battle, Onaga the Dragon King revealed himself, now resurrected and ready to reclaim his throne, a new threat to all the realms. During the events of Mortal Kombat Deception, Kenshi would have died if it weren't for the Lin Kuei warrior Sub-Zero, who was in Outworld at the time fighting against Onaga's forces. Sub-Zero found Kenshi, dying from the battle with Movado, and nursed him back to health. When Kenshi awoke, he could sense that Shang Tsung had been defeated by Onaga, and the souls of his ancestors had been released, absorbed into his sword. This marked the end of his quest for vengeance, and due to Sub-Zero's kindness, a strong friendship formed between the two warriors. Together, they traveled at night, searching for a way back to Earthrealm. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat Deception ending, Sub-Zero was attacked by the Dragon King Zealot Hotaru, and Kenshi saved him.
As Sub-Zero and Kenshi trekked across Outworld, they strove to keep themselves hidden, only traveling at night. But as they neared the portal to Earthrealm, the Dragon King Zealot Hotaru attacked with a blast of glowing energy that temporarily blinded Sub-Zero. Kenshi's sense of sight is of a spiritual nature, thus he was unaffected by the intense flash of Hotaru's projectile attack. In the dark, Kenshi had the advantage. Hotaru did not see his approach. Unaware, he strode in to kill Sub-Zero. It was the last mistake he would ever make.
In the canon version of events, Shujinko was able to slay the Dragon King, and Kenshi returned to Earthrealm. Once he returned, he chose to resign from the Special Forces and chose to live life as a lone warrior. But peace wouldn't last. Soon the fabric of reality was coming undone, and the elemental blaze was offering the power to alter reality to any combatant that defeated it. During the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Kenshi had become a vigilante at night, in the darkness, hunting down the corrupt. With the guidance of his ancestors, Kenshi was successful in overthrowing several criminal organizations single-handedly, and during one of his raids he discovered a message sent to Movado of the Red Dragon clan. The Red Dragons were planning on capturing a man named Taven, a half-god that was on a mission to destroy Blaze. Before he could discover the Red Dragon base, Earthrealm's Johnny Cage confronted Kenshi and asked him to join the Forces of Light, the warriors he was gathering to save all of reality. Initially, Kenshi wanted no part of it, and went after Movado. While searching for Movado, he received a psychic premonition and became fully aware of Taven's quest to destroy Blaze. Sento urged him to join the battle, and Kenshi accepted Johnny Cage's offer, becoming the warrior that would lead the Forces of Light into battle. In his non-canon Mortal Kombat Armageddon ending, Kenshi destroyed Blaze and used his newfound power to cure his blindness, at a cost.
The fire of Blaze burned away the curse responsible for Kenshi's blindness. Not only was his sight restored, but he gained increased sensitivity in his other senses as well. As time went on, however, he found the sensory bombardment unbearable. Kenshi retreated to a remote mountain cavern where he remains isolated in a darkened, soundless chamber.
In the canon version of events, Kenshi fought his way near the top of the pyramid where Blaze waited. During the battle, he was able to kill Shiva, but was finished off by the Deadly Alliance. Ultimately, Shao Kahn would be the one to defeat Blaze and took his powers for himself. Taven had failed in his quest, and Kenshi failed to stop Armageddon, but Raiden was able to send the message to the past and altered the timeline to prevent Shao Kahn's victory. In the altered timeline, Kenshi's backstory was kept completely intact. While he wasn't part of the official Mortal Kombat 9 storyline, the development team were such huge fans of the character, they included him as a downloadable combatant. The battle was never shown on screen, but it was established that he fought for Earthrealm in the tournament against the Outworld warlord Rico. The winner behind the battle is still a mystery. In his non-canon ending, he defeated Shao Kahn and drove Sento through Shang Tsung.
Guided by Sento, his ancestral sword, Kenshi destroyed Shao Kahn and saved Earthrealm from Armageddon. But he had not yet exacted revenge on Shang Tsung. The elusive sorcerer had hidden himself somewhere in Outworld. Jax allowed Kenshi access to a newly developed portal that permitted travel among realms. In return, Kenshi agreed to serve the fledgling Outer World Investigation Agency. After countless missions, he finally located Shang Tsung. With a roar, Kenshi plunged Sento through Shang Tsung's chest. The magical sword drew the souls of Kenshi's ancestors into itself, leaving Shang Tsung a withered husk. His vendetta fulfilled, Kenshi left Shang Tsung to die, alone and powerless.
In the canon version of events, Kenshi wasn't involved in the battle against Shao Kahn or the defense of Earthrealm when Shao Kahn invaded. Sometime after that, as in the original timeline, he joined the Special Forces and fought alongside Sonya Blade, using his telekinetic powers to aid his fellow soldiers. Shao Kahn's death left a void where an even deadlier threat would emerge. The Elder God of Death Shinnok, long ago imprisoned by the Elder Gods, was released and his demon army threatened all the realms. During the events of Mortal Kombat 9, Quan Chi had also resurrected many of Earthrealm's warriors into soulless revenants under his control. They assisted his demons, and Kenshi fought besides the Special Forces soldier Johnny Cage to defend.
Alright, you have the rendezvous coordinates, far into the forest. From there we access the portal to Raiden's Sky Temple,
where there's an angry former Elder God and his devils waiting for us.
Gods, portals, flying demons.
Blind guys with magic swords.
The world has changed. For the worse if we do not expel Shinnok from Raiden's temple. He means to poison Earthrealm's life force, the Jinsei.
and we're not gonna let that happen.
Kenshi and I appreciate the Major allowing us to join you. We're happy to help kick Shinnok's bony ass back to the Netherrealm.
Get over here! Damn, I'm dead. You okay?
We fared better than the men.
Add him to the list of things Shinnok will answer for.
Raiden and the Wind God Fujin tracked down Shinnok and Quan Chi, and special forces closed in on the location. The revenants of their old allies defended their new masters, as Kenshi used his enhanced senses and Sento to guide them to Shinnok.
Sergeant, what is it?
That the elevator?
Yes, the elevator. Sento contains the souls of my ancestors. They guide me.
Could they hurry the hell up?
Anata ga hirakimasu.
Going up.
Fall back, now!
Thanks to the efforts of Johnny Cage, Shinnok was successfully resealed inside his amulet prison. Although Quan Chi had escaped and retreated back to the Netherrealm, it was only a matter of time before he was found. Sonya Blade confronted the sorcerer and took him down, breaking the connection with some of his slaves.
No!
Scorpion was one of the Earthrealm warriors that were freed from Quan Chi's control, and Kenshi took it upon himself to help his human side Hanzo Hasashi fight the darkness and regain control of his humanity. From that day forward, Kenshi and Hanzo became close friends and shared a mutual trust with one another. Hanzo set out to rebuild the Shirai Ryu clan and protect their territory, and Kenshi went on another mission. He was assigned to go deep undercover to dismantle the Red Dragon criminal organization from the inside. But his true identity and motives were discovered. Kenshi escaped with his life and became a target for the Red Dragon clan. Unknown to Kenshi, he had a son in Thailand with a woman named Suchin. The Red Dragon discovered Kenshi's son and his mother, and went after them to draw him out. Her son Takeda was left in a different town for his own protection, and Suchin fought fiercely against the Red Dragons that came after her. Sadly, she was killed in the attack, but Takeda was safe. Sonya Blade discovered that Kenshi had a son, and she told him the Red Dragons were going after him. Kenshi rushed to rescue them, but when he arrived, it was too late. Suchin was already dead, and Takeda was nowhere to be seen. Neighbors helped him find his son, and he took the boy with him. Kenshi had a plan to keep Takeda safe. He purposely entered Shirai Ryu territory, hoping that the Red Dragon clan would follow him, and his old friend Hanzo would notice. But the Red Dragon hunted him fiercely, shooting an arrow in his leg and slowing him down. The Red Dragon commander Su Hao took pleasure in finding Kenshi, excited to make him pay for betraying the clan. But Hanzo and the Shirai Ryu tolerated no trespassers. Hanzo attacked and saved Takeda, while Su Hao was taking pleasure in beating Kenshi slowly. But even the mighty Su Hao would fall victim to Hanzo's rage. Hanzo's kunai ripped through his cybernetic heart, and his flaming fist was sent rocketing through Su Hao's head. The Red Dragon commander was dead, and Hanzo gave the surviving Red Dragons a stern warning. If they left now, they would have a chance to live. Kenshi's plan had worked. He knew he couldn't keep Takeda safe for long, and introduced the boy to Hanzo. Kenshi believed the boy would be safer, being raised as a member of the Shirai Ryu, trained directly by Hanzo. As Scorpion, Hanzo knew the dangers of living with the need for uncontrolled anger and vengeance. He was concerned his son would also grow to recklessly hunt his mother's murderers, so he was told she died in an accident. Staying with the Shirai Ryu would teach him discipline, and when he was older and ready, he would be told the truth. Hanzo saw Takeda as a survivor and agreed to allow the boy in as part of the clan. Kenshi said goodbye to his son and revealed the difficult truth that his mother would never return. The Shirai Ryu would be his new life. For the time being, Kenshi would hunt the ones responsible for Suchin's death. Hanzo was a difficult teacher, but under his tutelage, Takeda would become the pride of the Shirai Ryu and a talented warrior. Kenshi spent his time fighting against the Red Dragon, but an encounter with the Shokan Prince Goro would put his quest on hold. Goro had lost all 4 of his arms in combat against the new Khan of Outworld, Kotal Khan. His desire to find a way to regrow his arms led him to the leader and founder of the Red Dragon clan, Dagon. The Red Dragon had much information on the legendary Onaga the Dragon King, and it was said if you cut off Onaga's hand, another would grow in its place. Goro believed they held the secret to regrowing his limbs, and Dagon agreed to help him in exchange for Kenshi. Goro, even without arms, was able to break the warrior and deliver him to the men that were seeking to punish him. Kenshi was kept prisoner for a time and eventually found a way to escape. Years later, an 18-year-old Takeda was finally reintroduced to his father.
Now that I'm Chujin, how will I serve the clan?
Your future does not lie with the Shirai Ryu.
But the clan's my family.
When I took you in, I promised your father...
I don't have a father.
Yes, you do. One who's proud of you. A Chujin in record time.
You knew he was coming? You said nothing?
Knowing this would be your reaction, yes. Takeda, your father is not your enemy.
10 years. No visits. Nothing. You abandoned me.
I did not abandon you.
I was 8. My mother had just died. Now you come back? Think you can jump right in as a proud dad?
Son,
To hell with you. I am not your son.
Takeda, cease! Kenshi did not abandon you. He brought you here for your protection.
Protection from what?
From those who murdered your mother.
She died in an accident.
That is the story I asked Master Hasashi to tell you. But in truth, your mother was killed by Red Dragon assassins. I was the target. Suchin was the victim.
Son of a bitch! It was your fault!
Your father has devoted his life to fighting animals like the Red Dragon. It is they who are without honor.
You shouldn't have hidden the truth.
You would have gone after your mother's killers unprepared. I could not risk that. Master Hasashi has perfected your fighting skills. Now it is time to complete your training.
How did you do that?
We are telepaths, a family gift.
I can read minds?
Through training, we will determine your full abilities. And then we will hunt down the Red Dragon. Together.
It would take some time for father and son to bond. Kenshi failed to destroy the Red Dragon clan on his own over the years, and he needed Takeda's help. The Shirai Ryu had prepared him for this monumental task, but first the threat of Shinnok had to be stopped. Quan Chi was still seeking to resurrect his master, and Kenshi participated in a mission to the Netherrealm to finally take the sorcerer and his revenants down. Jax found him and was able to bring him in as a Special Forces prisoner. At the time, Sub-Zero shared the truth with Hanzo about his family and clan's death. Quan Chi was responsible. Hanzo wanted the sorcerer's life, and together with his Shirai Ryu, they raided Special Forces headquarters to claim his vengeance, and Kenshi was forced to stand against his friend.
General, we have a visitor.
You two are friends, right? He tell you he was coming?
Nothing.
General.
Master Hasashi, I hadn't received word you were coming.
I will have Quan Chi.
Without Quan Chi, we can't restore Liu Kang and the other revenants. You'd leave them trapped? Like you were?
Only Quan Chi concerns me.
Don't do this, Hanzo. I'll put you down.
Then we are at an impasse. Semeru!
Call off your men, Hanzo!
If you value our friendship, you will give me Quan Chi. Withdraw.
Hanzo, no! You've earned great trust for the Shirai Ryu. Do not squander it murdering a withered sorcerer.
That withered sorcerer is the architect of my suffering. Get over here!
Kenshi failed to stop Hanzo from killing Quan Chi, and before his death, he was able to resurrect Shinnok. Kenshi was knocked unconscious for the rest of the battle, and the Special Forces team led by Cassie Cage that Takeda was a part of were able to successfully stop Shinnok, ending the events of Mortal Kombat X. With the Elder God of Death defeated and Quan Chi dead, it was time for Kenshi to work together with his son. In his likely canon Mortal Kombat X ending, they searched for the Red Dragon together and found help when they discovered Dagon's brother Taven, the half-god that was originally meant to destroy Blaze. Together with Taven, they finally dispensed justice on the Red Dragon clan.
Their travels took them to a cave where he and Takeda freed a man, Taven, encased in a stalagmite. Kenshi told Taven that his brother, Dagon, was the founder of the Red Dragon Assassin clan. Dagon had not only murdered Suchin, but his and Taven's parents as well. Together, Kenshi, Takeda, and Taven lay siege to the Red Dragon base. Dagon fell victim to Kenshi's rage. Suchin's murder had been avenged.
For now, that is the complete story of the blind swordsman Kenshi Takahashi. During the events of Mortal Kombat 11, Kenshi played no role in the main storyline, possibly spending that time hunting down the Red Dragons, but he did make a quick appearance in the Crypt mode, appearing as a dead body on Shang Tsung's island, a possible future timeline where he fell fighting an army of Oni in the island's bowels. The question still remains as to what role Kenshi will play in the future new era of Mortal Kombat, likely to remain the hunter of criminal empires and evil sorcerers across all the realms.
Your soul is mine!
Kenshi wins. Flawless victory.
Since you made it to the end of this video, I assume you enjoyed it, so why don't you go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any new content. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, links in the description below, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can join my Patreon or become a channel member. This is Fabian, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.